This is your host, Nick DeJulius. Let's get rolling right into episode number 114. We first broadcast this episode on July 26th. Tomorrow, on July 27th, back in what I believe to be the year 1957, in the Bronx, New York, there was a baseball game. And the New York Yankees were hosting the Detroit Tigers. And that's when catcher Yogi Berra started a streak of errorless games behind the plate that ended after 148 games, didn't end until May of 1959. That was a Major League Baseball record for the position at the time, and really, this was just one of Berra's noteworthy accomplishments across his career. It's an opportunity to finally recognize him with a dedication, now that we are 100 plus episodes into the far middle history. And it's amazing, I suppose we haven't gotten around to a Yogi dedication as of yet, but now we check that box for the far middle, and Yogi Berra's life was just an exemplar in absolute excellence. First, what a player. Maybe the most accomplished all-around player in the history of baseball. He's, of course, in the Baseball Hall of Fame, 3-time MVP. Only Barry Bonds has won more MVPs in a career. 13-time champion as a player and as a coach of the World Series. And when you win the World Series that many times, it means he's also going to hold a load of World Series records, which he does. Holds the career record for games played in the World Series, at-bats, World Series hits, doubles, World Series singles, games caught, and of course, catcher putouts in the World Series. And he hit the first pinch hit home run in World Series history too, by the way. How about this? 5 times, Berra had more home runs than strikeouts in a season. And he and his Yankees teammate, Joe DiMaggio, they're the only players to hit 350 or more home runs while striking out fewer than 400 times in their career. Yogi Berra knew how to protect the plate as a batter. And what a personality. How about all those quotes and quips, all those Yogiisms, so to speak? Here's some of the more popular ones. When you come to a fork in the road, take it. You can observe a lot just by watching. It ain't over till it's over. It's like deja vu all over again. No one goes there nowadays. It's too crowded. Baseball is 90% mental and the other half is physical. And always go to other people's funerals. Otherwise, they won't come to yours. And what an American. He grew up in St. Louis in an Italian neighborhood, went off to fight in World War II. He joined the Navy in 1943. He served as a gunner's mate, and he was on the attack transport USS Bayfield during the Normandy invasions. He was one of a 6-man crew on a Navy rocket boat, firing machine guns and launching rockets at the German defenses on Omaha Beach. He was fired upon and later received several commendations for his bravery. And during an interview he gave on the 65th anniversary of D-Day, Berra confirmed that he was sent to Utah Beach as well during those D-Day invasions. And according to the United States Department of Veterans Affairs, he was also shot in the left hand during Operation Dragoon in southern France, and that's an injury which earned him a Purple Heart. And then what a human being and what a family man. Married 65 years, great and loyal friend, impactful mentor to scores of young players, both when he played as well as when he coached and managed, supported all kinds of causes. He was one of those rare people who, no matter what your walk of life or what your leanings were, you liked them and you admired them. Heck, even George Steinbrenner loved him. Now, was Yogi the greatest catcher ever in the history of baseball? I think he was certainly the best all-around catcher for sure. And that's no offense to Johnny Bench, who I placed second and could be placed at first in that list. At least no offense to Bench as a player, who, by the way, made some pretty offensive remarks about a week or 2 weeks ago. I'm not sure if you saw that. And no offense to Ivan Rodriguez or Yadi Molina, 2 more recent players that I would put in that top 5 backstops of all time list. Now, they say they don't make them like they used to. That's certainly true for Yogi Berra and for that era when he played, when America was all about the bright future that was sitting just over that horizon. I wasn't around then. That was before my time. But I can vaguely remember that the feeling of the best is yet to come in America. I can remember when that bled into sort of the start of my generation when I was a kid. And Berra's generation was a big reason why we were able to feel that way as a nation. So a fitting dedication for sure.